let's find the limit as x approaches positive infinity of x minus the square root of x squared minus 3x. Let's work inside the square root by factoring out an x squared. And so we're left with 1 minus 3 over x. And now the x squared comes out of the square root. Technically, the square root of x squared is absolute value of x, but because x approaches positive infinity, here x is positive, so we could just remove the absolute value. Now we have x minus x times the square root of 1 minus 3 over x. We can factor out the x. And notice that as x approaches infinity, we have infinity times 0. We cannot use L'Hopital's rule, but we can manipulate this to use L'Hopital's rule. So we're going to take this positive infinity and just put it as a reciprocal, 1 over the infinity, because then we'll have 0 over 0. So let's take x and write it as 1 over x. And so now this goes 0 over 0. So we can use L'Hopital's rule. Derivative of 1 over x is negative 1 over x squared. And then 1 minus, the square root of 1 minus 3 over x, that's just going to be negative 3 over 2x squared times the square root of 1 minus 3 over x. So the way to think about it is just writing it like negative 1 minus 3 over x to the 1/2 power. And so we use the chain rule, bring down the exponent, inside stays the same, subtract 1 in the exponent and multiply by the derivative of the inside. And now we can cancel out the negatives, the x squareds as well. And as x approaches infinity, 3 over x goes to 0. And so what we're left with is 3/2 as our final answer.